Jenny Lewis is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, y'all.
Rebel and Hennessy from the album called On the Line, which is coming, your fourth solo album, but by no means your fourth album. And, amazing to hear the musicality on that song, the passion, the energy, and the drive on that song. Those are words that get thrown around in music a lot, but I can stand by that description. Amazing. Tell us who was on that record. I mean, I've read it, but for those who are listening right now, blow their minds.
Well, we put together a pretty special band.
And I'm going to interrupt because you're too humble, and so we'll do it together. As you name some of these people, I will then start to humble brag on your behalf as to who they've worked for.
So we have Don Was on bass.
Legendary producer, one part of Was Not Was, Was Not Was. I never got it right. In any case, an incredible producer who's probably most known, and aside from Jenny Lewis now, for working with Rolling Stones.
And he produced Nick of Time by Bonnie Raitt.
Yes, he did, which of course
who was 40 at the time.
Crazy.
Think about that.
That's crazy.
And then we have Benmont Tench on keys.
I mean, all I have to say is Heartbreakers.
Heartbreakers.
Right? Tom Petty and Heartbreakers. And
Benmont in the studio, he also recorded on the Voyager. And we always say that he's responsible for the fog.
Right.
Where he creates this tension with the keyboards.
The mood.
And it's not like classic rock and roll, like Hammond organ tropes. Like he's such a creative hook maker and fog provider. So we've got Benmont, Don, Jim Keltner on drums.
Imagine there's no Imagine, because then Jim Keltner wouldn't have contributed the drum track to Imagine. Wow. Unbelievable.
Legend. He is like Father Time. He's on so many of your favorite rock and roll songs.
Does he like being called that? I'm not sure anybody would really want to be called Father.
I haven't called him that to his face, just behind his back.
Saying you're sort of like Father Time. What?
I guess you have to be mature.
Very.
To be Father Time. Nephew Time.
Yeah, it's like the son of time.
No, but he truly has played on so many amazing rock and roll songs. And his feel is legendary. So on this track, we have double drums.
So Jim's on one.
Jim's on one kit.
Hang on. I mean, it needs a little tension, right? I can't just let this one roll out. You know what I mean? It's a little bit.
And the one and only.
Yes. Yes.
Shall I?
Yes.
Mr. Ringo Starr.
Yes, shut the front door! Seriously, shut the front door on your way out. We're done here, Jenny Lewis. I'm sorry, what?
I know, it's crazy. It's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Truly.
Can I ask you the obvious question? Because out of the 1,216 that are currently filed in my head just around Ringo Starr, the obvious place to start is, how do you get Ringo on the phone? Like, how does that happen?
Well, I didn't DM Ringo. That's what you're asking.
So it doesn't go down in the DM when it comes to Mr. Starr.
No. I mean, everyone else it does. Right. It goes down in the DMs.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ringo, I didn't DM him. I believe Don called Ringo. I don't know how he got there, but he showed up and he was so cool.
That's amazing.
So chill. Ringo is still really cute.
I bet he is.
He's so cute.
I bet he is.
He's so nice.
To you? He's on your record.
He was there for the sesh fee.
He's got Ringo union rules. Can you imagine him? It was like, all right, mate, Smoko, I'm off.
My theory about Ringo is that, well, he hasn't played on a lot of records.
Now you're just showing off.
No,
that was
but
awesome,
my theory
humble brag, by the way.
is that no one asks him because they assume he wouldn't want to do it.
He'd say no.
Yeah.
This has been a real journey for you. I know that's a terrible way to describe a record, but when it actually has been, personally, when you've been through the things you've been through, you talked about losing your mum, you talked about personal challenges, all those things that everybody in life, if you're lucky enough, I think, to get to a point where the circle of life comes around and you go through that kind of grief, that's a part of the process. You want to get there because that means you're alive and you're on the same journey. But for you to have the opportunity to pour it into music and of course for Benmont to be going through the loss of Tom Petty, all these things going on, really it sounds like the circle of life was present on this record.
It was. And I think it is with every record, if you're an artist and you're going to make work throughout your life. The work always coincides with real life stuff or vice versa. I don't know what happens first.
That's right.
But it is really amazing to be in my 40s and just kind of going through all of that stuff and witnessing people passing and being present for that, and relationships ending and beginning, and being able to just have a place to
express that,
sort of express at least part of it, because you can't possibly write about that experience in an exact way, because it's all kind of magical. But yeah, the record, that some stuff went down. Everyone goes through it.
Everyone goes through it. What was the toughest time during the making of this record? When was it at its most challenging for you, the artist, and you needed that support the most?
Well, it took a couple years and a couple different crews to get it done. So, well, my mom passed in the middle of the process. And I was back in the studio maybe 6 weeks later. So I think that was...
when everyone rallied the most?
Yeah.
What was the most fun part? When was it at its most enjoyable?
Enjoyable? Hanging out with Ringo?
Yeah, and this is the part...
That was the enjoyable day.
This is the part where all like aspiring musicians need to understand that it's fun making music, should always be fun, but getting the real stuff out was tough.
No, it's fun, and it's an absolute pleasure to see the thing that you've been working on in your head, like a song. Like I just, every lyric in a song, it keeps me up at night. Thes and ands and he and she and I. And so I work on something for so long and it's just in my head. No one hears it. And then to be able to share it with a group of people and have the collective energy inform this thing that's just been living weirdly in my mind. It's such a cool thing. And I do think that's the most exciting part of the process for me. And then from that point on, you have to get into the details and getting it done and working it. And then you're sick of it. You never want to hear it again. And then you have to play it on the road. So that moment where it's happening, it's pure energy.